Joe, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling really good. How you feeling?
Joe, I'm feeling great. I know we got another great podcast tonight. River Street Podcast number 13.
Wow, 13?
We're here. This is a big deal. Everybody, we'd like to thank you for listening. Go check us out on riverstmarketing.com. Check out some of the other videos on my YouTube channel here, which is our YouTube channel, River Street Marketing, and Joe's channel, YouTuber Joe Perry, with me as always. Glad to have him here. Go check out his videos. He's got a lot of fresh content coming out. You're going to love it. Joe, again, it's always a pleasure. We want to tell everybody, check out Instagram, River Street Marketing. Check out Joe's Instagram. You can find it on the page on our Instagram. You'll see him there, Joe Perry. Other than that, we have a great podcast for you. Great podcast for you.
Oops.
We're going to start off tonight with the blend. Joe, it's always fun to start it off with this blend here. We have a great blend tonight. You can throw this in the blender because it's going to come out great. Throw some ice cubes in there. You're going to have yourself a great time. Klitchsko loses the heavyweight title to Anthony Joshua in a heavyweight boxing classic.
That was a really good fight. They were back and forth, knocking each other down. They went 11. Was it 11 rounds or 12 rounds?
Joe, they went. I believe that was the whole fight.
The whole fight.
Yeah, the whole fight.
They were knocking each other down. Everyone was on their
Anthony
feet.
Joshua won by TKO, and it was just incredible, just incredible. Like you said, they were both knocking each other on their feet from the start. Everybody believes Klitschko has a good chance to retain his belt. He's been the king of the heavyweight division for years now. And Anthony Joshua came in there like a firestorm.
Yeah, he's a big dude, and he's fast, and he seems to have that crazy chin. Like, we're talking about, like, Vladimir Klitschko.
Oh, yeah.
And he's taking his shots to his chin, and he's still smiling after they both knocked each other down. They're still smiling and going at each other, man. It was like two robots, Preston. I'm telling you.
It was. And I'll tell you another thing, too. Anthony Joshua, very light on his feet for as big as he is. Because I think he has more muscle mass than Klitschko. Or am I wrong?
No. It's close because it looks like if you take another look at Klitschko, he is crazy shredded, and he's big, too. And he's an older guy. A lot of his, it's matured.
Right.
His body looks more matured.
Yes, he is.
But yeah, I think when it comes to actual mass, yeah, definitely Anthony Joshua was looking a lot bigger. But I will say this: after the fight, in the interview, Anthony Joshua says something awesome where he's like, put all the glory and everything aside about this fight tonight. I just want to make sure that this goes on, and all the young viewers watching want to, motivate to do themselves better and make something out of themselves and maybe be on the same stage I am and keep the sport going. Yes. That was awesome.
That's why I love watching boxing. I try to watch as much as possible. I know you do the same thing. And I know in this particular fight, I was rooting for Klitschko. I'm a big Klitschko fan. And, when he lost, I knew there was going to be a rematch. And we do have the news about there is going to be a rematch, correct?
It's definitely, they're talking about it for sure. I guess Klitschko wants one. We do know that if Anthony Joshua is going to take the fight, he says he wants a bigger paycheck.
Yeah, way bigger paycheck. What do you say? I don't.
100 mil.
Not a quote. Yeah, this is not a quote, but he wants to be a billionaire, and it's hard to be a billionaire making $10 million a fight.
Yep, that was it.
And if it's really,
it's not wrong.
It's not wrong, and then that's how you have to think because it is a business, correct? Every boxer has a manager.
He's at work right now. I always look at that as like, that guy was just at work.
Right. It's a business, and on top of that, he sees how, to your point, Floyd Mayweather is living high on the hog, and that's the type of life he wants.
Yeah.
Joe, you want to add anything else? You want to add anything else to this segment?
I'm just gonna say that it did actually, for some reason, fly under our radar, and we were following some other fights, uh, and we didn't. I didn't really know the Klitschko fight was obviously coming around the corner. All of a sudden, boom! I'm watching it on HBO.
Yeah,
So,
we didn't
anyways,
promote this fight like we should have, and you know what? It just means, we're gonna cover it for the rematch purpose itself
yeah,
now. And Anthony Joshua, congratulations, gonna be a great champion, and that's the type of champion you want to look at as a role model.
right,
Now,
absolutely.
the Cavs beat the Raptors last night.
Mm. Game one. So we're talking game one, Eastern Conference, Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
Um, a tough battle.
This is prime time basketball now.
Yeah.
This is prime time basketball now. Now it's time to brush off whatever faults you have, whatever excuses you have, and it's time to come out and ball hard. This is playoff basketball. This isn't your average regular season game. To the NBA players' credit, they're going hard, but this is playoff basketball. You turn it up quite a few notches. You turn it up to the maximum here. And
No. Yeah.
go ahead.
But it seemed like a few of the Raptors were doing their job, but the Cavs are just so consistent and so smooth. Kyrie was playing well. LeBron played well. Everyone was shooting good on Cavs, and they're just this entire squad basically is so already playoff seasoned. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. They look like, they've been there. It's not one of
They
those
do.
not one of those teams that get there and then they're struggling to find their offense. They're turning the ball over too much. They're committing penalties that they shouldn't be. All these fouls racking up, and then guys are getting sent out of the game, and then you get guys that, it's an intense battle when they're on the court. So then they get frustrated, and then you get your ejections. You get, horseplay instead of the physicality you want to see. So,
Right.
Joe, honestly, the Raptors played a hard game. They played a tough game.
They did.
Something happened to them in the third quarter that it looked like they fell off a little bit. This is about the five minutes and 36 seconds. I remember that very well. They started to fall off. They didn't really have that energy. You can always make it up in the fourth quarter, but you got to show up for every quarter. And the third quarter, towards the end, they didn't show up. Then in the fourth quarter, they were already down. So it was going to be an uphill battle from then on. And to his credit, Kyle Lowry had a great game. I'm a big fan of Kyle Lowry. Had a great game. Facilitated the basketball. Had a double-double. Facilitated the basketball well. Had a lot of points. But when you're playing LeBron James, the greatest player in the NBA right now,
It's tough.
it's tough. It's just going to be a tough game. A tough game every time you go out there, and a tough series.
Very tough series. It's going to be an uphill battle, but I just feel like the Jurassic Park that was there first round may not be there second round, but I hope it is because Raptors are one of those things where they feed off energy and they do these burst modes of superstar, and that's how they win games. Anyways, moving on, Preston.
Washington Capitals versus the Pittsburgh Penguins last night. Now the Caps were up 2-0 in this hockey game, and with under 2 minutes left in the last period, the Penguins, they rallied. They got two quick ones, and I'm saying to myself, wow, I'm so glad I turned this game on. Yes, and we go to overtime. Now we're in overtime. The Penguins' heart is broken by a Washington Capitals game-winning one-timer from Kevin Shatterkirk, who played an outstanding game himself. And I definitely noticed him on the ice. Joe, there was something bad that happened in this game, and we're going to bring it up briefly, and we're going to move on. Sidney Crosby, to me, took a predatory hit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with that. There's a lot of people that won't agree with that. I don't say the guy did it because he didn't like him, but I say that was intentional because he could have pulled away. He could have put the stick down. He could have moved to the side. These guys are professional hockey players, and when Sidney Crosby came to score the goal, He had, you know, someone's stick hit him in the back, go up to his head. He was off balance. Then he was falling down, and then he got clobbered. So to
Right.
me, that's a predatory hit because the guy that was coming into it really wasn't, to his credit, it's hard to tell if he was or wasn't, or was not, I should say, looking at him directly, because when you look at the replay, you see him going in and then you see him look up, and it's very fluid, it's very fast. So to me, it just looked like a predatory hit from any way you look at it. But you know, I just don't think it was over because someone doesn't like somebody. I just think that was just a hard physical play, and in the heat of the moment, things like that can happen. It's a very intense sport. It's a physical sport. It's the most physical sport out there, in a controlled environment. So, other than that, Joe, is there anything you want to add to that?
That's pretty much it. I hope Crosby doesn't have any kind of whatever concussion or whatever, and he can continue this this battle for the cup.
He does have a concussion. They came out and announced that today. I should have added that.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He has a concussion, and you know that affects you for the rest of your life. So short term, he'll be able to come back eventually, but this game they're going to play tomorrow, he's not going to play. So you know they have to assess him day by day and take it day by day. So it's really a big blow to an already banged up Pittsburgh Penguins team that has a lot of resolve and is playing well. But Joe,
Yeah.
we have something fun for the audience right now.
It's gonna apply to the luxurious sci-fi listeners.
Yep. We're talking to you.
Do you have $1 million, Preston?
Right now, I currently do not have $1 million.
Okay, well, I want you to start saving because they just released. What was the name of the jeweler?
Now, the name of the jeweler is he's out of Tokyo. Jinsa Tanaka.
Jinsa Tanaka builds a solid gold Darth Vader mask. This thing is sweet.
It's really sweet. This thing's incredible. Now, the only thing I don't like about it is that you can't wear it yet.
Can't wear it. And that was the kind of thing that got me stuck on it. I said, man, I'm really excited about it, but I mean, for that price tag, and
I can't wear it.
If you're playing with that money,
I can't wear it. That breaks the deal for me. Yeah.
It's like, well, I can get a bunch of toys for 1.4 million. You're telling me I buy this one toy,
Yes.
I can't wear it?
Yeah.
That's man. I could
Can't
buy
do
I could buy 100,000 ATVs.
Total cost on this gem is a big hefty price tag. $1.4 million. I don't know what that equals to in Canadian loonies, but I do know.
Only a few, actually.
Only a few, actually. Yeah, so it's not that much. And
I'm thinking about getting one.
I think you should. Joe, now we have something for the audience that they're really going to like. We just turned it up for them. AI will replace half of all jobs in the next decade, says widely followed technologist.
That's a scary one, man.
This
That's
is really scary. This is something, and I'll get into it really, quickly here. It's the decision engine that will replace people, Lee said. So this is what he said. According that AI capabilities far exceeded those of humanity. For example, he said, companies in which his firm has invested can accomplish feats such as recognizing 3 million faces at the same time or dispersing loans in 8 seconds. Now, these are the things that are superhuman, and we think this will be in every industry, will probably replace 50% of human jobs, create a huge amount of wealth for mankind, and wipe out poverty, Lee said. Later adding that he expected that displacement to occur within the next 10 years.
Now, you're going to get a lot of people disagreeing with, what you're reading. Just know that's not what me and Preston completely think.
Exactly.
But we will say that if you really think about it, now that's why we're on the show here, where if you really think about it, A lot of these jobs can be replaced with AI. Like, let's say all factory, all shipping and receiving, anything. Now, think about this for a second. Anything phone related and phone sales. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's not true because there's people who can handle people way better than others, and they have personal skills and the intelligence and the vocabulary to talk themselves into a better situation with somebody. But what if you programmed a computer and you literally typed in every response to what response is this, every word that you could ever think of, and type in to know respond like this, respond like that, and persuade someone, AI, artificial intelligence, a robot way.
Yeah.
You know?
It's I think they're working on it in a lot of factories. Over 260,000 robots in factories right now. That's a real statistic.
Well, how many, sorry?
Over 260,000 robots are in factories right now. So the details will be worked out. A lot of the kinks will be worked out. It's going to happen. I don't think it's over the next 10 years.
Yeah,
I think that's a 25-year from now thing. Honestly, I just don't see it happening. Not enough people buying into technology. Technology companies are huge for mergers. So it's just one of those things that you're in a market that's rapidly changing. And a lot of these technology companies are startups and things like that, and they're looking for someone to invest or buy them out. So, especially these robot companies that come to fruition. There's got to be a lot of people that get in the AI field. It's a specific field, narrowed down to that, specifically that, artificial intelligence. And you have to be very sophisticated with technology, and not only that, you have to have the smarts to be able to keep up with how it changes. And you also are going to be responsible for making sure there's no problems, or it can't somehow hurt somebody and things like that, because it's going to hurt when it takes those jobs away. So I think they need to make them so that people can use them at the job and things like that, because it will hurt, the more technology advances and it's robots doing things, that hurts tool companies. You see what I'm saying? Because now instead of you going to buy tools to do something, you're just buying the robot.
Well, here's the thing.
I think that makes
this is what I wanted to say. 13 years ago, Will Smith's iRobot.
Right.
13 years ago. Just for anyone listening right now, what we're talking about, just think about that. Maybe watch that movie. Maybe don't if it scares you about that statistic or that. What was it? What would you call that? Hypothesis? I don't know.
Yes. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Run it. That's fine.
Run it. Hypothesis. I learned something today.
I like it. I like it. If I like it, it's good.
That's a hidden gem of the week if you like something.
That's a yeah for 500 points right there. Joe, we have a great segment now. A great segment we put together just 2 podcasts ago. What's the difference between Chicago style and Brooklyn style?
Brooklyn style.
No, me and Joe aren't talking about, what's better than the other. We're just talking about what's the difference.
Yep.
Brush the top edges of the dough with a little olive oil, which gives the crust a beautiful sheen. Fill each pizza with half of the cheese, about 2 cups per pizza. Any more than that is not Chicago style. Then your toppings. And the toppings on Chicago style pizza, there's really nothing sacred. So it's up to you. It's the deep dish, the way the dough is made, and the way it's cooked. That's exactly what the Chicago style pizza is. On top of those optional toppings is a sauce. So, you're going to have a fire pizza with a Chicago style pizza. Now, the Brooklyn pizza, we're going to switch it up. Instead of the gummy doughy crust that you get from a Domino's pizza, this is going to be a little bit different because Domino's does serve that the deep dish pizza. Brooklyn style pies is surprisingly thin. It's crispy. If you know what Monocle's is, it's very thin crust. You can also get deep dish. Not all places are like that, but Domino's, to its credit, they have, hand tossed pizza as well, but it's not like you would get in a Brooklyn style place. A Brooklyn style restaurant where you're going to get a nice big pie. Now the Brooklyn style pizza itself is just classic. I don't know which one's been around longer. But I would say I would believe the Brooklyn style pie has probably been around longer, because that pizza, just thinking about the country and when it was formed, Brooklyn's been there longer. So I mean, that's why I think that's probably been around longer. But the Chicago style,
Brooklyn was around, like New York and surroundings were around before Chicago was?
yes.
Ah. Let me just chime in here. Now, I don't want to turn this into a face-off. You know what I mean? Every time we talk about what's the difference, you have to remember, even myself, it's not a face-off. It's what's the difference, and there is a very distinctive difference. There's nothing like the Chicago pizza, eh? There's really nothing like it.
There's nothing like the Chicago style pizza, Joe. It's great, it's awesome, and it tastes really good. Now, Joe, we're moving into the face-off. You brought the face-off to my attention. I know the face-off is good because you made it this week. So go ahead, let the listeners know what the face-off is.
Now the face-off, this is just where we have our opinion, one-on-one, Preston versus me.
This is a debate. Don't let
unless we have someone else on the show, of course. This is one thing we're open to suggestions. So please comment down below what the next face-off or what anything you want to hear us talk about. Let us know down below. So, the face-off of today's episode. Internet versus cable. So, you have a choice. You're calling up the guy, okay, you're calling up your local provider, and you have $100, and you're going to either only afford internet or only afford cable. What do you do?
Joe, this is a tough one. But I'm going to have to say, just give me the internet, and that's all I need.
Could you tell me why?
This is why I want the internet, because I can do more with it. I can get more out of it. If I do want to watch something, I could watch it on the internet. And I'm a big person that likes freedom of choice. And cable, you really don't get that necessarily, because the TV channels put on what they have, what they have. So I mean, the internet is more of a variety, and you can kind of stop and go and do different things and not have to worry about that's all you have the ability to watch something. So that's why I like just internet.
Yeah, for me, I'm definitely gonna go internet. Now, cable, there's a lot of advantages to cable too. Now cable's getting better and better at streaming, right? So it's not even like there's not streaming websites you can use and stuff like that. And but yeah, the thing about internet, if you know how to do it, I mean, you can pretty well watch your favorite shows or your favorite movies, listen to your music, do the kind of things the cable box can't do. As far as even communicate like we're doing right now, So
yep, you got it.
My vote's definitely gonna go to the internet. And my $100 is going to the internet guy.
Yeah, he's gonna get the $100, and if he does a good job and doesn't break anything in my house, I might give him $20 tip. Go get some Jimmy John's. Joe, we're moving on to the best app feature of the week. This best app feature is the best one we've had out of all 13 podcasts. The best one. Here's why. Here's why. This is the Digital Advertising Alliance. A feature on this site allows you to opt out of online behavioral advertising. This can stop ads from tracking you on Facebook, Amazon, any social media platform. Now, it's also a feature on the app as well as on the website. So that's a combo for people that don't like messing with the apps.
And yeah, like I know people are probably thinking, well, what does that mean? I don't want my Amazon, Facebook, all this stuff tracked. Okay, yeah, of course I don't, but what does that mean? What are you telling me? It was already done before? Well, put it like this. Have you ever been on Amazon or eBay or something similar, looking for something particular, and then happen to be on, let's say, I don't want to say any website names, but whatever, xx.com and whatever, and then it happened to be a little window on the right, and it's like Amazon, and it's showing you the top deals that like literally relate or the exact same product that you were looking up, and that's tracing you, right?
Yep,
Is that correct?
that's sending your information to companies to know what type of ads to target you with.
Hmm.
And you're exactly right, Joe. Um, this is a great app feature. I found it on the Kim Commando website. Go check her out. Also, get on that Digital Advertising Alliance. That's another bookmark for you. Okay, Digital Advertising Alliance. Get on there. That's another bookmark for you, especially anybody that's in marketing or cares about advertising or internet marketers, what have you. Joe, is there anything else you want to add to this?
Just that, to be honest, and this is kind of shocking for me because I'm one of those privacy like snobs, but it's like I think I'm gonna leave this one on because sometimes I find the fact that it's like that Amazon deal that I was looking at it still exists and it's right there on another website. Like it just kind of oh whatever, I can just get it right from here, boom, and it pays another guy, and maybe that'll come. If I click on somebody else's ad on their website, maybe in the long run it'll come back to us. So with that being said, go to www.riverstreetmarketing.com. Hit us up on the Facebook. Check our YouTube out. That's where this podcast will be. SoundCloud, iTunes as well.
Absolutely.
That's that.
That's that. Strange and weird things on the web. This week, folks, Apple Watch apps. Okay, so you got an Apple Watch, right? Got the Apple Watch on. You're sporting it. You're feeling good about it. You had an Amazon, an eBay, and a Google Maps app. Okay, you got the Google Maps right on your watch. You're telling people what time it is, and you're walking around town. You're feeling good. You're going on a jog. You got maps. You're on a bike ride, long bike ride, feeling good. In the car? You're in the car now? Oh, okay. Well, guess what? Still got the maps on your Apple Watch, and you're not on your cell phone. Amazon, eBay, and Google Maps have disappeared on the Apple Watch App Store. It just disappeared. This is very weird. It's strange. They said
That's so weird.
I think it was, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it was something going on between the Apple and Amazon, eBay, and Google. You know, is there something there? Are they negotiating something? Is there a big deal coming that we just don't
I don't
know about?
know, but what? Yeah, maybe they're taking them off the like you said, maybe they're taking it off the iPhone Watch, or sorry, the Apple Watch. I always call it the iPhone Watch, the Apple Watch, because they're moving into another thing. Maybe it's gonna this new handheld or watch or Fitbit sort of thing that Apple's gonna come out with. That could be the next thing, and they're saying, we'll take that extra platform off there for now, and we'll wait, because maybe nobody's using it. Maybe nobody's using Amazon from their watch.
That's very true. But the maps is the one that gets me.
The maps, yeah, because that makes sense. Because people
Everything
like
but
to
the
go on
maps, right?
jogs with them.
Yeah, it's just
And then
everything
check
but
the
those
map.
maps. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, something there. Can't put
That's
my
spooky.
finger on it. Even when I read the article, it didn't help me. That didn't help me even come to a conclusion. It's just, it was a lot of speculating. So, I don't know. So I decided, you know what, we're just going to speculate on it. Joe, is there anything else you want to add to that?
That's it.
We got a strong junk file this week. Joe, you wanted the junk file this week. You said, I want that junk file, and I'm putting something in
Give
there.
it to me. Yeah.
Give it to me. Cough
So
it
junk
up.
file is something we don't like, we hate, we want to throw it away, give it away.
Give it away.
Trash
We don't
it.
even want to give it away. Actually, give it back, because we're going to go throw it in the fire we're having out
Right.
back.
It's the type of thing, it's the type of thing we actually don't want someone else to experience it, so just give it back. We're going to dispose of it.
Yep.
And on this episode of the Junk File is prepay at the pump only gas stations.
Yeah, this is bad. This is
Now,
bad.
it can be cold, rainy, snowy, up in
Blizzard,
Canada. All the
hurricane.
American listeners right now, do you understand the Canadian snows and conditions?
I don't think they understand, Joe. How
You guys are
cold it
scared
is
of
in
twisters?
Canada.
Oh, twisters it lifts house and trucks. No, we're talking snow. We're talking freezing your bones
You
off.
thought Lake Michigan, Cold Lake Michigan was cold? Think that's
Are
cold?
you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? You go to Canada, you walk outside, and
Oh
the
my
skin
God.
starts to rip off your face in the cold if you don't have it wrapped up. Joe will vouch for it. It's the
If
real
you-
deal.
If you're from Canada and you make it to Illinois and come back, people treat you like you went to the Bahamas.
Yes, they really do. I told Joe. He said, I need a hot state to go to vacation. I said, a hot state to you would be Illinois. He said that'd be like the desert.
So, with that being said, it can get hot, cold, windy, rainy, snowy, twisters, hurricanes, hail, whatever, and I have to prepay at the pump only at the gas station.
Yep. If you live in
Because-
Florida, alligators can walk up to the gas station.
They can just walk right up to you and start nibbling on your Levi's, and you're like, whoa, whoa.
It's true. And
Yeah.
Another point, Joe, is that in Indiana, which I'm not too far from, it's not too far from Canada, actually. Just to raise that point to any Canadians listening, we appreciate it. And Indiana's a great place. If you do go to Indiana Beach. But let me tell you what's going to happen when you go and you cross that
Okay.
line
Okay.
into Indiana. So now you're in Indiana. You got to get gas. You stop at the gas station. Okay? Of all places, who would have thought? I'm at the gas station. I'm driving and I'm at the gas station. Who would have thought? So you're walking in because you want a snack or something, right? You like, I got to pay for my gas, whatever it is. You needed a snack. Got a big old pop, big old pop. Some Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, something in that big old cup you got, some good pop. You go back outside, and on the pump, it says that if you don't have a driver's license, okay, you can't pump gas.
So, like, what if I'm with my, like 16-year-old brother or something like that, or cousin, or even girlfriend, or somebody that doesn't have their license?
A lot of older people don't have their license. There's a lot of people, yeah. And if you go with somebody, and someone goes inside or something like that, and you can't pump the gas. Can't split it up with somebody. You can't. I mean, something's wrong with that to me.
Something's wrong with that. We're gonna have to maybe add a bonus junk file.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
and
throw
say-
an add in. We're gonna have to give the junk file an app feature and give that app this. That's
To
what
that,
it's gonna get.
that law where you have to have your driver. I mean, you know what? They're obviously gonna bring it back to a safety thing. Am I right?
It's something
some
about
sort of safety
how,
thing?
like, you can go to the gas station and fill up, a big old gas can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily got to fill up your car. So I think they just prevent that because, like, if people are doing that, they're thinking, if someone doesn't have their license, right? So they're gonna go fill up, because a lot of people drive without their license. So, or they have a suspended license, revoked. So they're gonna go and fill up the gas with the gas can. They're not gonna take the chance of driving down there and having to park their car at the gas station. No way. They're just gonna bring. If you live close enough, you just walk over there with the gas can, fill it up, and go home. Say you're getting
Fair
it for
enough.
you're getting it for your lawnmower, whatever.
So they're preventing that.
Yeah. So that's what that's preventing. I think that's like an overreach of preventing
People driving without their
without
license
their
or
license.
suspended or whatever.
That's the only thing I could relate it to. Joe,
Well, yeah.
we're coming to a close here. We're gonna give the listeners one last thing before the final thought.
They know what it is by now. They have to.
I hope they do. The hidden gem of the week is the Office Space video game on Android and iOS. Now, if you haven't seen Office Space, we talked about it in a previous podcast.
We just did.
And it nails the office grind in a different sort of way, because it really, if you've ever worked in an office and you play this game or you watch the movie, there's a lot of parallels, a lot of similarities. So, Joe, this game is very fun, very quick to play, very easy to play. You unlock floors, which increases how much money you get. More money equals more floors, and you're moving through the office. You kind of have to spice up the floors, do different things on each floor, but you don't have to. You could kind of leave one floor like this, do another floor like that, and keep moving. Also, you level up, so that's the other thing. Everybody wants to level up in a game. You really get to see how it is in the office, and it's really set up funny, and it's made to be a lot of fun. And if you're a gamer, you want to check this out.
It's not like one of those Bejeweled games or something, is it?
No, not necessarily. It's more of like an adventure game.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's more of an adventure.
Yeah, check that out, guys. Preston, it's sad, isn't it?
Joe, we're coming to the end here.
Episode 13 has now come to an end. We always have the one thing where sometimes it can be short, sometimes it can be elaborate. Preston has his final thought for you guys. We thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe, share our stuff. We appreciate anything. And speaking of the Chicago pizzas, I know I will be doing a video vlog of how to make that or comparing that. I'm not too sure, but just make sure you check that out. Look on the River Street Marketing page because we got a playlist for that.
Yeah, that's great, Joe. You nailed it. And I'm just going to say the final thought of the week, it's been really cold here in Illinois. And I want to let you know that if you're in the Midwest, it's been cold lately. And just remember one thing. Have fun on these cold days. Enjoy the inside. Be productive. Stay productive. Keep finding new things to do. And fill your time. Fill your time. Don't let the time fill you. And just like the hourglass that sits and you have to turn it over, Joe, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'm going to say have a good night, buddy.
You as well, man. Thanks for having me.